When it comes to the U.S. Open, most of the tennis world converges on New York. It's not just the players and the trainers and the coaches, but it's former players as well.
All right, here we go. Take it easy on me. I'm old and retired. Holding it down for the...
That's me hitting a few balls with the old and retired guy who still has a pretty hard delivery on those tennis balls. Andy Roddick, the 2003 U.S. Open champion. Chase had brought him to Pier 17 for a tennis clinic, and then he ran me around the court a little bit and offered a few pointers. We also talked about the U.S. Open and the fact that he is here in New York, able to watch the U.S. Open without the stress of being a player in the tournament.
I love how the U.S. Open kind of takes over New York City. It's two of my favorite things, the event of the U.S. Open, one of my favorite cities on earth. And listen, it's not just a new experience for you. I don't often get to play on a tennis court looking out over the Brooklyn Bridge across the river. So this is a special time of year for all of us.
Clearly, when you're a player, you're in the zone for the competition, trying not to be distracted by New York.
Yeah.
Is it fun as a retired player to be here during U.S. Open?
It's less stressful. This is the tournament that I don't miss every year. I don't travel much. I don't follow the tour around. But so many special memories here. It's great. It's a lot less stressful. The night matches, I played 40 some odd night sessions on Ash. They're great. They are great memories. I also am happy not to have to deal with the stress and the recoveries that start at 4 or 5 in the morning to then do it all over again 2 days later. So I miss certain parts of it, and I certainly enjoy that I don't have to deal with all the stresses anymore.
The next generation of men's tennis is exciting. Who have you got your eye on?
Well, the next generation's here. I mean, our guy who's won 2 slams this summer is 21 years old. He couldn't drink last year when he was here. So, and Sinner as well. There's a lot of we're spoiled. I personally thought on the heels of Roger going, Rafa, I think is near the end. I don't have any information, but I think he's, I'd be surprised if he played next year. Novak's 37, just won Olympic gold. Seems like he's only getting better with age, which is crazy, but you got to think he's at least closer to the finish line than he is to the beginning. I thought there would be a challenge of interest in the vacuum of those greats, and Serena as well, Venus as well, going away, and demand for tennis around the world and at the U.S. Open has only increased. So I would have gotten that one completely wrong.
Who are you watching in the women's game?
I think Sabalenka is the favorite. Obviously, Coco in her defense. I think the hardest thing in all of sports isn't accomplishment; it's expectation, which I think she's dealing with this year. Swiatek is the most not talked about dominant world number one that we've had. Even Queen Wen Zhang from China, who just won the gold medal, is lights out. So there's so many good stories. A lot more kind of first round popcorn matches on the women's side this year in the draw than I think on the men's side.
And Jamie, I should mention that interview was done on Tuesday, so most of the women's players that he mentioned are still in the tournament, but as you know, there have been a few upsets, Coco Gauff among them.
Pat, we were texting right after you were playing tennis, and I'm going to tell everyone what I told you over text. I think that it's a feat just to be taking serves from Andy Roddick. Come on, you held your own.
What? No, I did. He held back is really what happened. but I got a couple back. There was one in particular. He tried to speed it up, and I surprised him a little bit by returning it. But then after we finished our short clinic, I said to Andy, what is it? If there was one piece of advice you have for me to improve my tennis game, what would it be? Here's his answer. I need one tip from you. What did you notice that I was doing wrong?
Well, I think it can be solved maybe with prayer.
You gotta ask him one question.
Here, just put your hands like this. Close your eyes.
What's the one question I gotta ask?
Speak to whoever you need to speak to.
All right, we're trying. We're trying for you.
Fortunately, the focus here is not on my tennis game. It's on the pros. Arthur Ashe Stadium back there. Looking forward to seeing Emma Navarro in the first match in the afternoon session. Stories in your communities. Click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.